On March 6th, Venus, the planet of love, beauty and relationships, crosses into Aries, the warrior sign, the first sign of the zodiac, the cosmic spark of pure, unfiltered action. This isn't just another planetary movement. This is a line in the sand for your love life. The old rules, they're gone. The waiting game, it's over. The universe is about to penalize hesitation and reward courage like never before. And here's what's wild. Most people have no idea this is happening. They'll spend the next few weeks wondering why their love life suddenly feels electric, why opportunities are appearing out of nowhere, why certain people are suddenly paying attention. But you're going to understand exactly what's unfolding and how to use it. And if you've been feeling an unexplainable pull towards someone lately, like there's this magnetic force you can't ignore, keep watching. Because there's one specific reason why this is happening to you right now, and I'll explain it later in this video, so stay tuned. But first, you need to understand why tomorrow, March 6th, is one of the most powerful days of the entire year for manifesting love. Because ignoring this energy might not be an option. Not if you want to step into the relationship you've been dreaming about. The universe just cleared the path. Did you notice? Something already happened. Most people missed it entirely, but if you've been paying attention to your emotional state over the past few days, you felt it. On March 3rd, just 3 days ago, we had a total lunar eclipse in Virgo. A full moon that didn't just illuminate, it obliterated. Eclipses are cosmic editors. They cut what's not working, delete what's draining you, and force endings that you've been avoiding. And this one, it happened in Virgo, the sign of systems, routines, perfectionism, and unsustainable habits. The eclipse looked at your love life and asked one brutal question. What are you tolerating that's slowly killing your joy? Maybe it was a relationship that looked perfect on paper but felt hollow in practice. Maybe it was dating patterns that kept you stuck in the same exhausting cycle. Maybe it was the weight of trying to be good enough for someone who never truly saw you. Whatever it was, the eclipse forced a release. And here's what nobody is telling you, that release wasn't random, it was preparation. The universe was clearing space, emptying the vessel, making room for what's about to arrive when Venus crosses into Aries tomorrow. You might have felt emotionally raw these past few days, exhausted, like something heavy finally lifted off your chest. That's not weakness, that's the cosmic edit in action. You're being prepared for a completely different kind of love. One that doesn't require you to shrink, perform, or beg for crumbs of affection. And tomorrow, when Venus enters Aries, the energy shifts from purge to pursuit. The question is, are you ready to move? Tomorrow, love becomes a battlefield, and that's a good thing. Let's talk about what Venus in Aries actually means, because this isn't the soft, passive, wait-to-be-chosen kind of love. This is warrior energy applied to romance. This is love as conquest, desire as fuel, attraction as fire. In astrology, Venus rules 2 signs, Taurus and Libra. In Taurus, she's sensual, patient, grounded. In Libra, she's harmonious, diplomatic, focused on partnership. But in Aries, she's in what's called her detriment, the opposite of her natural state. And while that sounds negative, in evolutionary astrology, a planet in detriment isn't weak. It's just operating through a completely different paradigm. Venus in Aries doesn't wait. She doesn't drop hints. She doesn't play coy or hope someone notices her across the room. She acts. She initiates. She takes what she wants without apology. And for the next few weeks, that's the energy flooding the collective. Subtle flirting, forget it. Playing it cool, not happening, waiting for someone else to make the first move, that's a guaranteed way to watch your opportunity walk right past you. Because here's the truth, the universe is about to heavily reward boldness and heavily penalize hesitation. If you've been sitting on feelings for someone, waiting for the right time, or hoping they'll somehow intuitively know how you feel, that ends tomorrow. The cosmic mandate is clear. Make the first move. Send the text, start the conversation, cross the room, say what you've been holding back, because under this sky, fortune favors the brave. And the love you're seeking? It's not going to come find you while you're hiding. It's going to meet you halfway, but only if you take the first step. But here's where it gets dangerous and why 3 signs need to pay attention. Venus entering Aries would already be powerful on its own, but tomorrow she's not walking into an empty room. She's walking into one of the most historically significant astrological configurations of the century. Right now, at the very first degree of Aries, 0 degrees Aries, known as the world axis, Saturn and Neptune are locked in a generational conjunction. These 2 planets only meet every 36 years, and this time they're meeting at the spark point of the entire zodiac, the place where everything begins. Saturn is reality, structure, time, karma, discipline, hard-earned wisdom. Neptune is dreams, illusion, spirituality, unconditional love, the infinite. When these 2 forces collide, something impossible happens. Dreams become real, but only if you're willing to do the work. And when Venus enters Aries tomorrow, she immediately triggers both of these planets. Within 48 hours, she'll conjunct Neptune on March 7th, then Saturn on March 8th. This creates a rapid-fire sequence, a cosmic gauntlet, that every new romantic connection will have to pass through. Here's how it works. Neptune opens the portal. It floods you with vision, that soul-deep knowing that you've met someone significant. The feeling that this connection is divinely ordained, karmically fated, spiritually aligned. It's intoxicating. It's beautiful. It feels like destiny. But then, less than 28 hours later, Saturn shows up, and Saturn doesn't care about your feelings. Saturn asks, is this real? Can you build something lasting here? Are you projecting a fantasy onto a stranger, or is this person actually showing up with consistency, maturity, and respect? This is the test. The dream partner that manifests under this sky isn't a fairy tale rescue. It's not someone who completes you or fixes your life. It's someone who meets you in reality. Someone willing to do the unglamorous, difficult work of building something sustainable. Someone who respects your boundaries and shows up when it's hard. The connections that survive this gauntlet become unbreakable. The ones that don't, they dissolve fast, usually within days of feeling like the one. And that's not a failure. That's the universe protecting you from wasting time on an illusion. But here's the thing. There are 3 zodiac signs standing directly in the line of fire. 3 signs where this energy isn't just theoretical, it's life-changing. If you're one of these signs, the next few weeks could bring the person you've been waiting for, but only if you're willing to step up. The first sign, Aries, you're being rebuilt from the ground up. If you're an Aries sun, moon, or rising, this is your moment. Venus transiting through your first house of self, identity, and physical presence turns you into a magnet. People notice you, they're drawn to you, compliments increase, attention intensifies. You radiate an undeniable, almost intimidating confidence. But this isn't just about surface-level attraction. The Saturn-Neptune conjunction happening at the very beginning of your sign is fundamentally rewiring who you are in relationships. For years, you might have settled, played small, accepted less than you deserved because you were taught that wanting too much made you selfish or difficult. That programming is being deleted. The universe is showing you your worth, and it's non-negotiable. You're no longer willing to tolerate partners who can't match your energy, who drain your fire, or who expect you to dim your light to make them comfortable. Making the first move for Aries isn't just encouraged, it's essential. It's literally in your DNA. You're the warrior, the initiator, the one who kicks down the door and takes what's theirs. And when you operate from that place of sovereign self-possession, the partners you attract are equally bold, equally confident, and ready to build something real. The dream partner showing up for Aries right now isn't intimidated by your intensity. They match it. They respect your independence while offering genuine partnership. And the connection moves fast, not because it's reckless, but because Saturn is grounding it in reality from day one. Your job? Stop waiting for permission. Stop second-guessing yourself. Make the move. Trust that the right person will rise to meet you. The second sign, Libra, your fairy tale is over, and that's a good thing. Libra, as the sign ruled by Venus, you feel her movements more intensely than anyone. And when your ruling planet crosses into Aries, she's activating your 7th house, the house of committed partnerships, marriage, and one-on-one relationships. This is a mirror moment. The universe is forcing you to look at exactly who you're allowing into your life and why. And here's what's being dismantled: the fairy tale. The belief that love should be effortless, harmonious, and free of conflict. The tendency to sacrifice your needs to keep the peace. The pattern of choosing partners who look good on paper but leave you feeling empty. The lunar eclipse on March 3rd in your 12th house cleared out the ghosts, old codependency patterns, mental exhaustion from over-functioning in relationships. The unconscious belief that your worth is tied to how much you can give. All of that is being released. And now, as Venus meets Saturn and Neptune in your partnership house, you're being asked to get real, to stop romanticizing potential and start demanding presence, to stop overlooking red flags because someone says the right things, to stop people-pleasing your way into connections that drain you. Making the first move for Libra looks different. It's not about chasing someone, it's about choosing yourself first. It's about stating your needs clearly and walking away from anyone who can't meet them. It's about understanding that healthy relationships require friction, honesty, and the courage to disappoint people sometimes. The dream partner coming in for Libra is someone who doesn't need you to manage their emotions, someone who can handle direct communication, someone who pursues you with the same passion you've spent years giving to others. And when you stop settling, when you enforce your boundaries with Saturn's discipline, they show up. Your job. Stop waiting to be chosen, start choosing, and trust that the right partner will respect you more, not less, for having standards. The third sign, Pisces. Your dreams are about to get a body. Pisces, this one's going to hit different, because technically Venus is leaving your sign to enter Aries, but that departure is exactly what's making space for the impossible to become real. You've been living in a fog. For years, Saturn and Neptune have been moving through your first house, blurring your identity, making you question what's real and what's projection. You've felt everything, everyone's emotions, everyone's energy, to the point where you lost track of what's actually yours. But as those planets move into Aries, they cross into your 2nd house, the house of self-worth, material reality, and tangible values. And when Venus joins them there, something profound happens. Your spiritual knowing gets a physical form. Neptune is your ruling planet. It's the planet of soulmates, divine connection, and unconditional love. And when it aligns with Venus, love, and Saturn, reality, in your house of self-worth, the universe is saying, you're allowed to have standards. Your intuition is valid. The person you've been dreaming about can actually exist. But here's the catch. You have to stop giving yourself away for free. You have to stop accepting breadcrumbs from people who almost love you. You have to enforce Saturn's boundaries around your worth and stop letting Neptune convince you that real love means endless sacrifice. Making the first move for Pisces might look like setting a boundary, stating exactly what you need, refusing to accept a connection that lacks spiritual depth or material investment. Walking away from someone who drains your empathy without reciprocating. The dream partner showing up for Pisces is someone who sees you, not just your potential, not just your beauty, but the depth of your soul. And they're willing to prove it, with consistency, with resources, with showing up when it's hard. This isn't just a spiritual connection, it's a sustainable one. Your job. Trust your intuition, but demand reality. Let Saturn filter out the fantasies. The love that's meant for you will feel both divinely fated and physically present. Remember when I said there was a reason you've been feeling that pull? This is it, that magnetic attraction you've been feeling towards someone. That's not random. That's Venus preparing to enter Aries, pulling your attention toward the person or opportunity you need to pursue. The universe doesn't send these feelings to torture you, it sends them to guide you. That pull is your soul recognizing potential, your higher self nudging you toward action. And tomorrow, when Venus officially enters Aries, that pull becomes a roar. But here's the thing, feeling it isn't enough. You have to act on it, because under this sky, the cosmic reward system is simple. Hesitation equals delay. Courage equals breakthrough. If you've been wondering whether you should reach out, whether it's too soon, whether you'll look desperate, those are old paradigm fears. Venus in Aries doesn't have time for that. She says, if you want it, go get it. And here's what's wild. When you make that move, when you step into that boldness, the universe responds. Doors open, people notice, opportunities materialize, not because you're forcing anything, but because you're finally aligned with the cosmic current. What happens after you make the move? Here's what nobody talks about. Making the first move is just the beginning. What happens next is equally important. On March 10th, just 4 days after Venus enters Aries, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, luck and abundance, stations direct in Cancer. Jupiter has been retrograde for months, forcing an internal review of what emotional security actually means. And now it's moving forward again. This creates a beautiful, supportive backdrop for new relationships. Jupiter in Cancer is nurturing, protective, and deeply committed to creating safe emotional spaces. It ensures that the bold moves you're making aren't just flashy. They're backed by genuine care, long-term vision, and the willingness to show up emotionally. Then, on March 18th, we have a new moon in Pisces, a gentle, healing portal for setting intentions around love. This lunation happens at the very end of the zodiac, in the final degrees of the final sign. It's a cosmic reset, a chance to plant seeds for the relationship you truly want, free from the baggage of what came before. And finally, on March 20th, the spring equinox arrives. The sun enters Aries, officially beginning the astrological new year. At the exact same time, Mercury stations direct, clearing all communication fog and delays. It's like the universe is giving you a massive green light. Go, move, act, build. The timing of all this isn't random. It's a carefully orchestrated sequence. First, you make the move. Then, Jupiter ensures it's emotionally sustainable. Then, the Pisces new moon lets you dream bigger. And finally, the equinox gives you the clarity and momentum to actually build something lasting. The cosmic mandate: move now or watch it pass you by. Here's the brutal truth. This energy won't wait for you to feel ready. It won't pause while you overthink. It won't sit around hoping you'll eventually find the courage. Venus in Aries moves fast. She's in this sign for less than a month before moving into Taurus on March 30th. That's your window. And within that window, the most powerful days, the ones where Neptune and Saturn are directly involved, are March 7th and 8th. That's this weekend. If you've been carrying feelings for someone, this is your moment. If you've been waiting for a sign to put yourself out there, this is the sign. If you've been hoping the universe would just drop your dream partner in your lap without you having to risk anything, that's not how this works. The universe rewards participation. It rewards those who trust themselves enough to take the leap, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. Because here's the secret. The act of making the first move is the manifestation. The boldness is the magic. The willingness to be vulnerable is what signals to the cosmos that you're ready. And here's what happens when you do it. You become magnetic, not because you're chasing, not because you're desperate, but because you're operating from a place of sovereign self-love. You know what you want. You're not afraid to go after it. And that confidence, it's the most attractive thing in the world. The warning: what happens if you don't move? Let's be real. You have a choice. You can use this energy or you can let it pass, but understand what you're choosing. If you hesitate, if you wait for the other person to make the first move, if you convince yourself there's a better time, you're choosing delay. You're choosing to stay in the exact same pattern that's kept you stuck. You're choosing to watch from the sidelines while bolder people step into the connections you secretly wanted. And here's the thing, Venus in Aries doesn't reward that. Saturn doesn't reward that. The universe doesn't hand out participation trophies for almost making a move. The people who make the first move this week, they're the ones who meet their dream partner. They're the ones who look back on March 2026 as the month everything changed. They're the ones who stop telling the story of what if and start living the reality of what is. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to know exactly how it's going to turn out. You just have to be brave enough to try. Because the worst that happens, you get a clear answer, you gain closure, you prove to yourself that you're capable of going after what you want. And that alone, that shift in your relationship with yourself, is worth more than any connection. But the best that happens, you meet someone who's been waiting for you to step up, someone who respects your courage, someone who's ready to build something real, and the entire trajectory of your love life shifts. This is your moment. Don't let it slip away. The stage is set. The eclipse cleared the path. Venus is about to cross into Aries. Saturn and Neptune are standing at the gateway, ready to turn your dreams into reality, but only if you're willing to show up for yourself. This isn't about being reckless. It's not about forcing something that isn't meant to be. It's about trusting yourself enough to take the first step. It's about understanding that you are worthy of the love you desire, and that worthiness requires you to act like it. So tomorrow, March 6th, when Venus enters Aries, what are you going to do? Are you going to send that text, start that conversation, make that move? Or are you going to let fear convince you to wait just a little bit longer? Because here's what I know, the universe is giving you a gift right now, a rare, powerful, once-in-a-generation alignment that's designed to help you manifest the love you've been dreaming about. But you have to meet it halfway. The portal is open, the energy is there, the cosmic support is undeniable. All that's missing is your courage. And if you're one of those three signs, Aries, Libra, or Pisces, this message is especially for you. The universe has your name written all over this transit. Your dream partner is closer than you think, but you have to make the first move. So take a deep breath, trust yourself, and when Venus crosses into Aries tomorrow, step forward, because the love you're seeking is on the other side of that boldness, and it's been waiting for you to finally claim it. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.